I just received the most insane PR box from the Sims team. They sent me a Coach bag. Hello?
Okay, what in the Saudi blood money is going on here? So, the jokes write themselves. Amid the sale of EA to the Saudi royal family, they've made the genius decision to release a Sims pack all about royals. Is Mohammed bin Salman himself gonna be in this pack? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. So in this video, I am going to be discussing some recent things I've seen with The Sims that are kind of disturbing to me, honestly. But just FYI, although I am discussing The Sims in this video, I want to make it very clear I am not promoting this game. If you buy The Sims or any EA products, I will haunt you in the afterlife after my inevitable assassination by an angry little Simsy stan. Speaking of stans, I will be talking about some influencers in this video. So while I believe some of these influencers are tone deaf and out of touch and working with future human rights abusers, I don't want to give the impression that I'm saying these creators are terrible human beings, okay? And the majority of our criticism should be directed to EA, and I have plenty of videos doing that on this channel. As a matter of fact, I actually want to start off by doing something I rarely do, and that is give some praise to an influencer. Yes, new year, new me. Breaking news, folks, I am a Lil Simsy stan now. Yes. Yup. Next thing you know, I'll be building blue Suburbans in The Sims 4. So Lil Simsy posted this message saying she won't be making any videos about new Sims DLC moving forward, including this upcoming Saudi Royals pack. And I think this is great. Lil Simsy has enormous influence, and the truth is, if she were to make a video just reacting to the DLC trailer, that alone would probably drive thousands of pre-orders. She could make a video about the pack and just say one single positive thing about it, and people would go out and buy it just because of that one single thing she said. That's literally how much influence she has over her audience. So to come out and say, I'm not covering any new DLC, I think that's very ethical, it's self-aware, it's conscientious, which is not something we see a lot of with influencers in general, as we're gonna see here in a couple minutes. But she said in this post that she hopes EA realizes what a big mistake they've made by selling out to the Saudi government, and she hopes this pack won't sell well. So for once, Lil Simsy and I agree on something. 2026 could be the start of something beautiful. I know she's married, but I also heard she likes that tequila. So, you know, we could have a throuple situation. I'm just bouncing ideas off the wall, okay? But in all seriousness, this company will be in the hands of human rights abusers in like 2 months. Last I heard, the deal will be closed by spring. This is the right thing to do, not just for Lil Simsy, but for any creator who's covering EA games. So yes, might I suggest you don't fuck with my sis, at least not today. Tomorrow might be a different story, we'll see. I believe other creators like Plumbella and Karen and Connie have also stopped covering new Sims DLC in addition to already leaving the EA Creator Network. So we're definitely seeing a lot less coverage for this new expansion, which I hope will result in fewer sales and, more importantly, less money going into the pockets of the future owners of this company. Speaking of pockets though, there are still a few Sims creators who are in the EA Creator Network working overtime from in EA's pockets right now as we speak, snuggled up right next to Andrew Wilson's cojones. I bet it's real musty in there. So let's start with this mess.
I just received the most insane PR box from the Sims team. Like, I promise you will never in a million years guess what's in this box. First and foremost, this box is so cool. I am gonna keep it forever. I wish I had space in the background of my room to put this up for my streams because this box is just so cool. But the part that you're probably not expecting and that I definitely was not expecting, hello? Coach?
So tell me why I stumbled across these videos of Sims influencers unboxing luxury purses sent by EA. If you have the privilege of not knowing what all this is about, The Sims recently partnered with Coach, which is like a high-end fashion brand. We're used to The Sims doing these weird collaborations that nobody asked for, but never did I imagine EA would sink so low as to send designer purses to Sims influencers.
This alone is like, wow, that's crazy. But wait until you see what's in the box. They sent me a Coach bag. Hello? This is like actually the most insane thing I've ever received. thank you to the Sims team.
So you guys know I do my research. I looked it up. This shirt cost $150 and the bag is $450. This is a $600 gift. It's dystopian at this point. EA can't even invest enough time and effort into fixing the bugs in the game, yet they're spending thousands of dollars total to send expensive gifts to Sims creators. This is payola, by the way. I hope we all understand that. EA is using these gifts to buy off these people. Now, EA has done shit like this several times, like the time they hired a celebrity makeup artist to give makeovers to Simmers, but this is a new low. We're in a recession, okay? We're in a cost of living crisis. We have people out here losing their jobs to AI. People can't afford to pay their bills. As a matter of fact, this $600 gift is more than my rent. But this is what EA thinks is appropriate. If you've ever wondered why people hate influencers, why there's so much anti-influencer content on social media these days, this is why. This is so tone deaf on every level. Can we blame the influencers for taking this gift? That's for you to decide. I will say I think it's embarrassing for a content creator to be like, I'm gonna record myself opening this PR package and I'm gonna post it online for everyone to see all the free shit I got for selling my soul to a video game company. It's cringe as fuck, okay? You guys know I find influencer culture to be very annoying. I've never been a fan of people who use their platforms to just be a walking billboard for companies. But why in the hell is a video game company sending designer goods to influencers? What are we doing at this point? By the way, I can't overlook this part. This creator, Danielle Bills, went out of her way a couple months ago to make a video saying she doesn't agree with the buyout.
I just want to say that I do not agree with the values of the Saudi Arabian government or with Jared Kushner's involvement or any of it.
She said we should all be pointing our fingers at EA.
We should be pointing that finger to EA, the higher-ups.
Yet, she goes on to do sponsored videos for EA.
This video is sponsored by EA.
Attend parties hosted by EA.
I'm hanging out with all my Sims friends.
And now receive expensive gifts from EA.
I'm sorry, this is serious.
As a famous philosopher once said, flip-flop, flippy flip-flop and ask, these gifts were not a surprise. They knew they were getting them. And by the way, in case any of you are wondering, like, how do they get these PR packages? They don't just magically show up to their houses. EA reaches out to them and asks them for their address because they want to send them something, and then they provide their address to them. And there's an expectation upon receiving them that they will post these videos, which in turn is advertisement, promotion for The Sims. It is a form of paid promotion and it should be disclosed as such legally. By the way, Danielle Bills did not disclose that this was paid promotion, but that's, I guess, a different conversation. The issue here is these creators who are pretending to care about the buyout and acting like EA is so bad while they're firmly in EA's pocket. It's this whole, oh no, human rights abuses.
The human rights issues are serious and real, and it's scary.
Anyway, here's the Coach purse they sent me. Fuck all the way off. I cannot deal with the fakery. And by the way, people ask me why I focus so much on Sims influencers while discussing this buyout. It's mainly because there's no other video game creators from other game communities that are being this performative. At this point, I think these Sims influencers are rage baiting. Honestly, I'm also just fascinated by influencer culture and conversations about things like this. I'm a huge Kiki Chanel fan, if any of you guys know who that is. And this is the exact type of stuff she talks about. Out of touch, tone deaf influencers. So congrats on your $600 gifts from EA. I hope it's all worth it in the end. But unfortunately, our influencer discussion does not end here. Because EA has gone all out on this upcoming royalty expansion, and they've seemingly paid every remaining member of the EA Creator Network to work on this new DLC. Spring Sims, Plum Bob Kingdom, Nard Villain, and Ocean Sims are just a few of the 10 different EA creators I've seen who have worked on this new pack. Now, when it was announced that these creators partnered with EA to make this pack, naturally, people had questions. As we all know right now, the Sims community is very divided. There are people who are boycotting, people who are pretending like nothing's happening. But when you consider that all of the largest Sims creators have cut ties with EA, it kind of looks weird to see all of these other remaining members of the EA Creator Network doing the exact opposite. They're cozying up to EA, embracing EA. This is foreplay at this point. Next thing we know, they're going to be collabing on a My First Time Getting Railed by EA pack. In a post on Ocean Sims channel, a user commented, commented, "Honestly, so disappointed by your choice not to terminate the contract and exit this deal. You know what money you're being paid with." Ocean then addressed these concerns under her post, saying, "My involvement with this pack was over a year ago," and she went on to say that any comments speculating about her motives would be removed. I bet she wishes she could remove this video. My question is, how can you expect people to not question your motives? A report was just released showing that the Saudi government, the one that's buying EA, executed a record number of people in 2025. So naturally, people are going to question you. They're going to ask why you would want to work with a company that's being bought by human rights abusers. I saw a few people in the comments of Ocean's community post kind of jumping to her defense and saying things like she had a contract and EA would sue her if she backed out. First of all, I think that's a fucking reach. If any of these creators had gone to EA and said, "Look, I know I have this contract, I said I would work on this pack, but now with the buyout, I can't be associated with EA." Do you genuinely believe that EA would spend thousands of dollars on legal fees to sue them? Not to mention the negative publicity that would come with a giant multi-billion-dollar corporation suing a little Sims creator. Let me tell you, I have worked with brands and signed contracts and the last minute said, "Actually, this contract sucks, I'm not doing it." And it was fine. There was nothing that even came close to a threat of a lawsuit. The most EA would have done is perhaps ask for the repayment of the fee they paid them to work on this pack. So we can throw out a million excuses, okay? But at the end of the day, they did this for the money. For the people who are defending these creators who worked on this pack, do you believe that the top Sims creators all cut ties with EA for no reason? Why do you think they did that? Better yet, why are you out here defending these people who are doing nothing? Is it possible that seeing a creator like Ocean or Nardvillain doing nothing makes you feel less bad for also doing nothing? Just think about that. Do some inner work before you go out and pre-order the next pack. However, there's one more thing about all of this that I have to address just because it feels so phony to me. A couple months ago in a video, I talked about Ocean Sim's reaction to the buyout because I felt like the way she reacted to the whole thing was irresponsible. She, of course, is an influencer with a platform much larger than mine, and she went on to Blue Sky and responded to people who said they were boycotting EA by saying things like, "Well, what about your iPhone? And what about the clothes you wear and the food you buy?" She said it was unfair to ask Simmers to leave the EA Creator Network. She said the people who are boycotting EA aren't as innocent as they think they are. Ocean was riding hard for EA. It was actually bizarre how quickly she jumped to this company's defense. There were dozens of Sims creators severing ties with EA, yet Ocean was here going to war for them. Ocean even came onto my channel and shamed me for talking about Sims influencers, saying I wouldn't stop until one of them killed themselves. Those are literally her exact words. She crashed the fuck out. We learned that EA is being sold to a regime that commits heinous human rights abuses, that imprisons and tortures and executes innocent people, and Ocean made it all about herself and went out of her way to defend EA. But now, I think we know why she did that. She was being so defensive and riding so hard for EA because they were cutting her a check. I remember people being like, "Girl, why are you defending this company so hard? Is Andrew Wilson your fucking side piece or some shit?" Ocean could have said nothing. There's no reason she had to go to war for EA as hard as she did, but it all makes sense now that we know she was getting paid by them. It really makes you call into question all of the people who are still sticking by this company. And look, I don't know Ocean or any of these people in real life. They could all be angels for all we know. But the reason I'm even talking about them, as I highlighted earlier when I praised Lil Simsy, is that content creators have a responsibility with their platforms and all the influence that comes along with having a large following on social media. And I believe what we're seeing is a dereliction of duty. For these creators to so brazenly ally themselves with this company is moral turpitude.
Is that good? Look it up.
Oh, I'm gonna unbox this $500 Coach bag EA sent me, but just so you know, I do not support EA. Fraudulent. Oh, what's happening with EA and this whole buyout? I don't agree with it. It's awful.
And I don't want it to happen. I don't want this buyout to still be happening. I wish it would just go away and step on a Lego for all eternity.
I'm still gonna cash this check though. Spineless. All back, no bone. EA was terrible before the buyout. We all know that. It's one of, if not the most predatory anti-consumer game companies in the world. they treat players like garbage. Hence The Sims 4 costing $1,500 and still somehow always being broken. But now, the company is soon to be in the hands of the Saudi government. Anyone who is still working with this company and promoting their games is in the wrong. There's no other way around it. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's no defending this. Now, I feel like this next topic deserves a whole video. There's a huge discussion to be had here with this new pack about representation. A lot of the creators who worked with EA and got paid by EA to help make this pack claimed they did it because they wanted more African representation in the game.
Representation truly matters to me. Representation matters to me in video games, to be able to see myself and be able to really authentically recreate myself in my beloved game of 26 years.
But my question is, where is it?
Now you brought it up. I'm like, man, where is Leah?
Where's Leah?
That's my girl.
Where's Leah?
They paid all of these creators to add African representation to the game, but that representation is limited to a single neighborhood. That's all they could muster. After 11 years, they couldn't even make one African world for this game.
Everyone's exclaiming how great it is that Black Simmers are finally getting the representation they deserve, including other Black Simmers. I'm sorry, is the representation in the room with us? Not only is it problematic that Africa is being sandwiched in between Eurocentric countries, when Africans finally get adequate content in The Sims 4, it does not get its own standalone pack. It has to share. Never in the history of The Sims 4 has an expansion pack had to share representation.
Yet The Sims 4 has 15 Eurocentric worlds and not a single African one. It's offensive. Yes, it's pink. I'm a white guy, and maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this topic, but to me, it appears that EA paid off a bunch of Black influencers, all of whom are in the EA Creator Network, of course, because God forbid they find talented individuals who aren't in the network. But it appears that they paid them all to give the illusion of representation, when in reality, EA did the absolute bare minimum. And the truth is, this is not anything new for EA. For years, they've prioritized cultivating an image of inclusion and diversity, but recent events with the buyout prove that none of that ever really mattered to them. I just made a whole video about it, about EA's performative LGBTQ activism. I don't know, man. If I were one of the creators who worked on this pack, I would be pissed that this is the final product. How can anyone be proud of this? If the goal was representation, they severely underrepresented. I'm surprised they didn't ask Black Iana to work on this. Where's Shakira? She should be singing the Waka Waka song in the trailer.
'Cause this is Africa.